When confronted with the unexplainable, the reactions are often confusing. Some face it with anger, some with fear, and some with curiosity. For this reason, Candela works from the shadows, receiving no recognition for the dangers they keep at bay. But what happens when this information is brought into the light? With the secrecy of Candela Obscura at risk, the Circle was dispatched to recover a kidnapped lightkeeper from an organization called the Rising Flare. While some don't believe Candela should keep their aid of the public a secret, many realize the damage and fear that would pulse through Newfair should they become aware. Though the Circle enters with one assignment, they may end up confronting more than they know. Will they be overcome with their fatigue, or will they stop a great threat? Circle of the Shadowed Abyss, assignment number 560, a burning trail. The creak of worn down and rotting floorboards echoes around us as we stare at a hole in a wooden floor before two eyes appear looking at us, before a rat clambers out and races across the floor. We follow it, winding between cables and metal canisters and broken down floorboards and walls, before it runs past the foot of a stool where a human foot shifts slightly, scaring it away. We pause. We follow up the leg of the stool until we see a man hunched over a workbench with the slightest glow lighting the area from a small candle next to him. He has greasy long hair, and we can see pale skin on the back of his neck and shoulders as he slowly turns two bolts of a metal canister. He moves slowly with precision. He stops, looking across the room into a corner. We can just see the tip of his nose protruding from the hair. A shiver runs down his spine before he says into the nothingness with a sly, cold voice, "Do I have enough yet?" He pauses, waiting for a response, but we don't hear one. He scoffs and turns back to the canister. "Time is not on our side. This will have to do." He pauses for a moment, then snaps back to into the corner. "I don't see you helping." He stares at the corner, then slowly nods. A distant sound of a firework explodes, making the man jump as he turns toward the camera. Behind his greasy black hair, we see glowing blue eyes shine just between all the dangles of his bangs before they start diminishing to a deep black and outlined with yellow. It is time to start. He turns back around and reaches forward and slightly turns one of the valves before a blue-green mist billows from the canister, filling the shot of the camera. It lingers for a moment before dissipating, and we are looking down a hallway as it clears. We can hear a band playing on just the other side of the wall as the buzz of people talking and the shuffling sound of dancing echoes through the corridor. We pan to the right, and we see 5 people, slightly crouched as they creep forward through the darkness. It is the 4 of you. And there's the 5th person with you is an old man with half of his hair singed away and a slight hobble in his step. And part of his left hand is missing. This is John Tittlesworth. That has been captured by an organization called the Rising Flare. This organization is hell-bent on revealing the truth of Candela and the flare to the public, which often ends with them looking crazy. You had been sent to by Candela on this assignment, and after devising a plan, you snuck into the headquarters of the Rising Flare at the 4th Card Club in the Red Lamp District. Devising a plan, you snuck into their headquarters, and after successfully releasing him from his cell, you are now on your way out. You all walk forward, sticking to the shadows, making for the way that you came in, when suddenly a door opens on the side, and the music grows louder as 2 men walk into the hallway. They're casually talking to each other as they turn and face directly in direction before they freeze in place, seeing you all there. Hey, what is this? Wait, that's a prisoner. What's going on here? As they turn and apprehend all of you, what are you guys doing?
Sorry.
Jumping straight into the action with this one.
Okay. I was not prepared. Sorry, do they catch us? Like, are we?
They see you guys, but they
Okay.
are figuring out what you guys are doing. So
Okay.
you guys can try and deceive them if you want to try and pretend like you're part. If you just want to attack them, you can just attack them. If you just want to run, you can just run. It's whatever the group thinks they need to do.
Well, I'm definitely not that good at running these days.
What?
Oh,
And try to.
My strength.
We're not doing anything over here. What do you want with us?
we're just unofficial business, that's all.
Official business? Taking the prisoner? I thought he was supposed to stay here. That's the last order I heard. We haven't really gotten our plan sorted out of how we're going to expose everything. Who are you guys?
We mean no harm. We're your friends.
All right. With that, I'll have you make a sway roll to try and deceive him.
Okay.
Deceive.
Deceit.
I got a 4.
4, mixed success. They kind of split ways and stand on either side of the hallway, letting you guys through, but they're still looking at you, not quite completely convinced. And one of them turns to the other and says, "Hey, go find Brad." I couldn't remember his name for a second. Go find Brad. I think we should probably check on this. As the one starts to go down the hallway past you guys. They're not stopping you. But they are... Their hackles are raised. They're suspicious.
Sure.
We need to hurry up and get out of here.
Yep. Let's pick up the pace a bit.
So you
Jezebel, always an excellent idea.
guys
While you're
start to move
going to
past.
talking to Brad, just make sure to mention that our deal still stands. He'll know what it means.
They turn back and look at you, more confused than ever. Deal. They kind of look at each other like, what? As you guys continue down, and then they're like, wait, are you guys Candela?
Well, what's Candela?
What a strange accusation.
Yeah.
All right.
Depends
have-
who's asking.
I'll have another one of you make a sway roll. You guys can decide who wants to do it since you all are chipping in. You can also use drives as you so desire.
It should be someone else. I've got nothing for sway.
I've got one. I've got one sway.
I have one sway as well.
I can do it and use the drive.
Okay, deal.
All right. So roll with the drive, the 2 dice.
Oh, you got a 6.
A 6, full success.
Dang.
It's like, you should know what Candela is. It's a whole organization we're fighting against. Come on. You guys even members of the Flare? Come on. So they all kind of like turn and are just like looking at each other incredulously. Just like, what are these people doing? You would think that Brad would have entrusted more well-informed people if they're going to be handling the prisoner. As you guys continue down this hallway, and they're still just watching you go, just completely dumbfounded at what in the world is going on here. But you guys make your way down the hallway before exiting the door that you entered in, which is a side door leading out into an alley. In the alley, you guys, it's up to you of what you guys wanted to have planned to get out of here. So a little bit on the spot, because I didn't tell you guys this prior. But on the spot, what is your guys' escape plan? You can have a car, a carriage, just walking. What is it that you're gonna do to get out of here?
We could maybe have my wagon from last time.
Yeah, a carriage and wagon.
Yeah, I like that.
Horse and wagon.
We're gonna have a 3-way wagon swap. So first we're gonna get into a wagon, we're gonna drive to a bridge, swap out with another wagon, the completely different colored horse, and that way no one will be able to track us.
All right, and as you guys
Perfect.
hop into this first wagon, you guys start to go out of the alleyway, and as you do, you hear a voice call out from behind you as you see a third man that you guys don't recognize, but you do see one of the men who was sent to go talk to Brad is standing out there, and he yells, "Hey! Hey, get back here!" as they start running down towards you guys as you take off in this carriage. Who is driving?
I can be the driver.
All
That's
right.
true, I think
Nice. I like it.
Valencia
will-
would probably be best.
Yeah,
Is
makes
it?
no
Do they
sense.
have nearby wagons that they would be chasing us in?
As you
or
guys are
carriages?
watching this, you see that there are some horses that are tied up at the side of the place. Not wagons, just full-on horses.
Mm.
That
Oh dear.
they're running towards now to get on.
Ah!
Valencia,
I'm going to
did
throw.
you-
I will.
Oh, go
Going
ahead.
to throw a sticky substance, which I had
Perfect.
created preemptively for this escape, and I throw it upon the horses.
Okay, perfect. All right, make a control roll to aim well. As you guys are riding past in the wagon, Clyde pulls back his concoction that he made earlier and releases it.
That is a 6.
A 6, a full success as you release it as you fly past, and you did the mathematics in your head as you were preparing this and
Mhm.
release it at just the right angle that it flies out from the moving wagon and lands on top of the horses, spewing this sticky, unusual substance all over these horses. And as you see the men get to it, they get caught and they're trying to rip it off as they're trying to get onto these horses, and the horses are just as confused as the men as they're trying to move, and they just are really struggling to. You definitely bought yourself some time. Valenci,
I knew I should have been a pitcher.
I'll have you make
thinking,
a control roll to see how well you drive this as you start to make
Oh,
your way.
me.
Now this is nighttime in the Red
Valenci,
Lamp District.
go!
This is nighttime in the Red Lamp District. The Red Lamp District, just to refresh, is like the party district. It is filled with bars and clubs and brothels and theaters and all this stuff. And so nightlife is very busy here. So it is quite crowded.
Ooh. 3.
A 3, all right. So as you pull the wagon out and you turn it down in the direction of the second wagon that you're heading to swap out at, you're riding along, but there's 2 wagons in front of you, one coming towards you and one going away, and it forces you to have to slow down. And as you do, you almost don't make it in time as your horse almost runs into the wagon in front of it before it does stop itself and starts to restlessly paw at the ground, feeling that it is supposed to be going faster right now, but it is being slowed down. As you look over your shoulder, you're seeing that those men are just starting to get the rest of the sticky stuff off as they are starting to get onto the horses, but they still do have that bit of time. You know that if Clyde had not gotten that sticky substance on there, that they would be hot on your heels. And you do see the glint of steel as they are starting to brandish weapons.
Valenci, quit slowing down.
Blow
You move on.
Is this how you always drive on your adventures?
Well, I don't usually have this much traffic when I'm out and about.
That's very true. Finally, the wagon passes, and you're able to speed up and pass the wagon going slow in front of you. And as you do, you see a car's headlights coming towards you, as I will have you make another another control roll to see how well you drive.
Oh boy.
Come on,
To
Valenci.
avoid this obstacle.
4.
A 4 as a partial success. You see it coming towards you, but you know that you need to get moving as you gallop the horse forward and just manage to move over as the car, blaring on its horn, just sideswipes the side of the carriage, slightly breaking part of the wheel, but not enough to really cause or to slow you down too much as you're rolling along. And as you do, you hear the shouting, and you glance behind you again, and you see the men starting to make their way on their horses, raising their guns, but not quite having a clear shot with this traffic and people. As you continue onward, you make for the bridge where you have a second wagon waiting for you, and as you're weaving in and out of traffic, and people are jumping out of the way, looking incredulously at all of you passing by. Hey, what's going on here? Slow it down, ma'am. Slow it down, as they're yelling at you. You then hear the whistle of the periphery, the police officers of this town. Start to take notice to this chase going on, and now you see as you pass by, 2 periphery officers jump into their vehicle and start up their sirens and lights as they start to peel out, but then they stop because they almost run into the 2 horsemen. So now they are behind the horsemen who are galloping out towards you guys. I'll have Valenci, you make another control roll. If any of you at any point during this want to do something, you say the word.
If anyone wants to switch with me, I can. Pull out my gun and
actually,
maybe return
Someone
fire a little
can
bit.
I'll
give
use-
drives as well.
I'll use bending spoons to knock over this big cart full of newspapers to try to block them so we can get away.
Very nice, very nice. All right, make that sense roll.
To gilded. I got a 4.
A 4.
Non-gilded.
So as you focus in on on this bleed energy within you. And you have felt so much bleed in these past few assignments and have felt it start to grow in power inside of you as you focus, and this cart suddenly just topples as if it got hit by a huge gust of wind, and it just knocks it into the ground, spewing papers all in front of the horses. The horses, out of instinct, slow down and come to a stop as their riders try and spin them around. And I'm actually going to make a roll real quick for the police officers to see what kind of damage they might do if they can't come to a stop soon enough. Okay, as the police officers are barreling forward with their sirens and lights wailing, you hear a crash as they manage to not hit either the horsemen, but they do plow straight into the wagon, and they come to a stop as even more rubble and paper spew up into the air. The horsemen take the opportunity to turn and continue downwards, but you have gained a lot of ground, enough to where with a couple turns you might be able to lose them. As you, Valencia, I had to make a roll. What was the outcome of that?
Another 3.
Another 3.
Ooh.
As you hear this, or you see this, you turn over your shoulder and then you turn back and you go to make a turn to try and lose them, but you underestimate your speed a little bit as you turn, and the cart almost tipping over as everyone scrambles over to one side to help it slam back down, but it does slam into the wall of a building as you make your way down. The same side that got sideswiped is taking even more damage now, and you have an idea that if it takes a little bit more damage, it may be out of service, and you might have to either go by horse or foot. John sitting there, John Tittlesworth, "Oi there! Settle down with the driving. We gotta make it out of here in one piece."
Hold on, guys.
So you continue forward, losing a little bit of that ground as the horses come barreling behind you, but you still do have a bit, thanks to Jezebel's bending spoons. Oh, Jezebel, with absorbing that bleed, I will have you take a bleed mark. That is the partial success part of that.
Okay.
All right, is there anything that anyone's doing, or are we just continuing onward? If we continue onward, Valencia, you'll make another control roll.
Just trying to get out of here alive. I'm just a journalist here.
Okay, I'm gonna use
As
one of
useful
my,
as ever, Drake.
I think I'm gonna use
You
one of
almost
my
made me
drives.
vomit with your sticky substance.
I bet you wish you knew the ingredients.
Oh, he knew.
Alright, 6.
A 6. There we go.
Nice, Valencia.
As
Tell you.
you start to get a feel of how the traffic works here, and kind of accustom yourself more to, or adjust yourself more to kind of the patterns, and you get into a good rhythm of bobbing and weaving in between as you then turn again down another alleyway before coming out onto a street and coming to the bridge. You turn and glance behind you, and you do not see the horseman behind you as you approach your next cart that you had waiting for you. What are you guys doing? Are you guys all jumping over? Is it half and half? What's the plan?
Well, I like
Yeah,
it.
let's split up.
We'll split up and then we'll meet back at the Hollow.
Deal.
All right.
I'll go with Valencia and Tittlesworth.
All
in
right,
the other cart.
Drake, we make the best team. Let's go.
All right.
You follow me, old man.
So Clyde and Drake, are you guys getting in the new cart? And Valencia
Yes.
is okay. So as you guys pull up, Valencia barely even slows down enough for you two to jump out and race over to this waiting cart before you jump in. There's like a young boy there, like holding the reins of the horse as you guys just toss him a coin, and he releases it as you get on. And then
Well done,
Valencia-
lad.
Yeah, he just looks so confused because of all like how hectic this seems. And he just turns and races off holding the coin in his hand. Valenci, Jezebel, and John, they all continue forward as Drake and Clyde, you scramble up and begin to make your cart move. Is there anything in particular you're trying to do? Are you trying to get them to follow you guys? Or are you just trying to just go?
We'll get them to try and follow us. So I'm gonna just as soon as we currently, do we see the horses behind us at all?
I'd say probably. So Valenci, you've taken off because you barely slowed down, so you're continuing momentum. You're continuing forward. The time that it takes you guys to run over, get in, and get the horses started, you do see them turning the corner, and they see you guys ahead of them.
Yeah. Settle down, Tittlesworth. We'll get you to safety. I yell loudly to try and lure them towards us.
Very nice, very nice.
Quick, Drake. Do you even have your license?
What the hell is that? It's license to ride some goddamn horses.
I guess we'll find out how good your rolls are, Sonny.
All right, so is Drake, you taking the reins?
Yep.
In the heat of the action, normally I would probably say as a sway roll to try and get them to follow you. Yeah. Clyde, I'll have you make a sway roll, and then Drake, you're gonna make a control roll, as you get going on the wagon.
That is a 3.
3. Okay. Drake.
That'd be a 2. I don't have anything in control. Use the lower die.
I probably should have driven.
I didn't know you.
You guys can swap if you want. It's not like.
So after whatever happens, we may have to swap.
Yeah. So you guys start forward, and Clyde, you're calling that kind of like looking into the back of the wagon as if someone is there, and you see the men riding up on the horse, and they're looking at the wagon, and they're like, you see kind of like a confusion because they're like, I thought that they took some damage, but this wagon is all nice and pristine. As he then turns to one of the other horsemen and says, hey, continue on that way. We'll go after these men. As they turn and they start riding towards you as one other horseman goes in the direction that Valenci was going. Not seeing directly Valenci. They don't directly see you guys, but they are just continuing in the direction that a carriage would have been going. And as Drake, you start the carriage forward, but the horses are they just take a little bit longer to get going. They just do not want to move. You're not super, you don't use a lot of carriages in your time. Usually you just walk places or maybe get a car or something from, or ride the train or get a car from the Hayland Star or whatever it is. And so it takes a little bit to get the horses to go, but eventually they do kick off. And you lose a little bit of ground as the two start to ride up on you. As you see one of them pull out their firearm, their pistol, and try and level it as they're riding a horse.
Ride, you damn horses, ride!
God damn it, Drake! This is not how you drive a carriage!
It looks so easy.
All right, Valenci, Jezebel, and John. What is it that you guys are doing? Are you just continuing to just try and get as much distance? Are you trying to find a place to turn off and hide? Are you going for the third wagon? I guess that's another thing. Which one of you is going for the third wagon? Or if your third wagon's just back up, what's the plan here? Are you going straight for the Hollow's Haven? Or Haven?
I think
Hollow's
go
Haven?
as far as we can, like get as much distance as we can.
Yeah.
Do I
definitely
see-
an outreach.
I'm just watching out to see if anybody's following us at this point.
Okay. Valenci, I'll have you make another control roll, and Jezebel, I'll have you make a survey.
Survey.
Woo! So you're continuing. You're in a groove. You have definitely spent time with wagons and horses, and now that
Wide
you,
open road.
yeah, you're getting as you've put distance behind you to the red lamp, it does get less and less busy as you're starting to get onto nice clear streets as you race down, keeping the horses at a heavy gallop as they race along the streets.
I rolled a 5 for
A
survey.
5. There's not really anything at like risk here, and so you're not gonna lose anything. But as you're looking behind you, you think for a moment you might see a horse, but then you just see that it's just someone like casually trotting by, like a couple on like 2 horses that are just riding next to each other, but very casual, just a trot. And you don't see anyone behind you. It seems as though the speed that you guys have been able to maintain, and you guys have gained a lot of distance and do not currently see anyone behind you. And John kind of turns and just says, "It was a rough start, but man, I think we might be in the clear." And then we'll go back to Clyde and Drake, who are in the heat of just going as these 2 men are drawing closer. One of them starting to level their weapon. What are you guys doing?
Here, Clyde, take my camera and just click the button on the top. Provide
If
a
you
flash.
insist, I could probably. Now, this is something that does look easy. I grab the camera,
There's some
turn it towards the man on the.
specs on that thing.
horse.
Be careful with it.
And then take a flash.
All right. I'll leave this a little bit up to you of what role do you think this would be to, because I'm thinking maybe it could be another sway roll. It could be a move roll to try and just, it's kind of in a way like trying to dodge the attack. I can kind of see that. Or
Mostly trying to use the flash to distract him so he reduces his aim. So
Okay.
potentially like a control roll.
could be, yeah,
I think would be good.
Control would work.
Hide is distract.
Yep. That would.
Oh, hide. I do not have hide, so I will go with control.
Sorry.
It works for me.
Jezebel always trying to get me killed.
All right, make your,
All right,
make your
rolling,
control
rolling.
roll.
That is a 6.
A 6. As you put the camera in front of you and you click the button and hold it for a second, you feel the lamp start to heat up before a big flash goes out in front of you. And you see the guy kind of raise his hand to his eyes as he shoots the gun, and it just goes wide, streaking off. Between him being on a horse to the flash, he just completely misses, and it goes flying off.
I'm calling that work, Drake. Brilliant idea.
Fantastic. I knew you could do it.
That's going to develop into quite the picture.
Sure. All right, and as you continue onward, you're racing through the streets and making turns and just trying to do anything to get these guys off your tail. Drake, I will have you make another control roll to drive the carriage.
Hmm. Four.
4. All right. You manage to gain some distance as you are racing behind and just making turns that make them kind of slow down that they weren't ready for. And even with lack of maybe experience at the reins, but you do manage to make a couple turns. There's a couple times when you almost feel like you lose control of the cart, but just managed to barely keep it. And the stress of this very new situation kind of eats at you a little bit. I'll have you take a brain mark. I don't know why I couldn't think of what it was called for a second. I'll have you take a brain mark as just some very close calls as you whiz past a car here, and you feel the cart start to slide a little bit as you make a turn. And just little bit scary. A little bit scary.
I think the anxiety's kicking in, Clyde. I'm losing control here.
Give me the reins. You've done enough. Literally.
Give me back my camera. You don't know how to use that thing.
The picture would be beautiful.
So as you guys make that switch, Clyde clambers over, and Drake, you hop back into the cart as Clyde, you take the reins, and Clyde, I'll make you do a control roll. This will be part and part. One is kind of like the finesse of doing the exchange of the reins. The other is managing to maintain speed, and the other is the control of the cart. So.
That is a 5.
A 5. All right. You nimbly grab the reins and continue it forward as it gallops along. And you turn and see behind you. You see the man, the other man, raising his pistol and steadies it and releases a shot as you feel the bullet whiz past, and it just barely grazes your shoulder. I will have you take a body mark as you continue forward on the cart, but you do manage to make some more ground. What is your guys' destination? Are you guys just trying to lose them? Are you trying to get to somewhere specific?
All right, Drake. I think we try to ram them with the cart. We jump out, and then we run for the third.
You sure your ankle can hold together this time?
I mean, it might click a few more times, but we'll make it work.
Make sure to protect your monocle. Let's do it.
All right, you guys continue onwards, and you find, you know where the third cart is parked, and you find a spot where you think you can do a quick loop around to where you will be going directly at them before you're able to jump off to the third cart. I'll leave it up to you once again, Clyde, if you want to make either a control roll for how well you drive this or a strike roll in terms of trying to plow it into them.
I will do a strike roll. I want to do ultimate damage.
Perfect.
All right, Drake. On 3, we jump. I aim, I drive steady, I roll my dice. That's a 2.
You whip the cart around and
Oh,
aim
no.
it right for one of them, but they are on just individual horses that are a lot more nimble than like the 2 horses that you have hooked up to your wagon. As they race forward and they pull it out of the way, bringing their pistol forward, and as you both jump to try and leap for this third wagon, I'll have you both make a move roll.
It's a disadvantage one for me. Oh my god, double 6s. Disadvantage.
Whoa!
Oh, I got
Nice.
spry. That ankle and knee is acting up just
Wow.
right.
That's huge. The adrenaline coursing
There's
through
6
your
as well
veins.
with 1.
That's very
Damn.
nice. So you guys both just leap from it, and you hear another gunshot go off, but it whizzes past you guys as they don't expect you to leap from this cart. As you both run, turning the corner and going into another alleyway where you leap onto another cart, and Clyde, you immediately whip the horses forward, and they start off, and another boy clambers away as a coin falls on the ground next to him as he picks it up and starts running.
Enjoy, little Timmy.
As you streak away and turn another corner. You turn and glance behind you, and you don't see the horses immediately behind you. It seems like your maneuver managed to lose them a little bit for the time being, but you didn't manage to hit them though.
Those damn horses got skittish right at the end. Should have known they couldn't play chicken.
And Drake, you're watching behind you, looking for any glimpse of them. As we go back to Valencia and Jezebel, you guys are continuing forward. what is your current destination? Where are you guys trying to go to now that you believe that you've lost them?
I
So
think we
let's-
lost him.
Perfect. Let's circle back to the hollow.
Yep.
All right, I'll have you
Like-
make another control roll. This is a little bit less high stakes now that.
Oh. Well, that's good because it's a 2.
Okay.
I know the
So-
feeling, Frenchie.
As you turn a corner and start making your way for the Hollow's Haven, which is the library that is your guys' chapter house. One of the wheel that has taken so much damage starts to wobble, and you get the idea that if you keep up a high rate of speed, that you're gonna lose this wheel, or at least maybe not high rate of speed, but if it takes like any more damage, so you might want to slow down to maintain the integrity of the wagon. But it is up to you. Do you want to continue at a high rate of speed, or do you want to risk slowing down?
I think I'll risk slowing down a little bit since we've kind of veered off our main path now at this point,
All right.
and just
Yeah,
keep a sharp eye out.
yeah, maybe we can blend in. They won't notice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as there are very few, especially as you make it into the Hollow Harbor. There's very few traffic around, but you guys do slow down to a pace that maybe is a little bit faster, but it wouldn't be like super uncommon for someone who's just trying to get somewhere in like a timely fashion, and try and kind of hide in. I'll have either of you make a hide roll.
Okay. I have 2.
Okay, I have none.
Okay. I will.
All right.
I will roll. 4.
4. All right.
Alright.
You continue forward, and there's a moment where you feel like you hear a galloping horse go riding by, but it's quite far back behind you, and whether it was them or not, you're not sure. But as you kind of glancing around, you're not seeing them after you anymore. As you make your way, and then after a little bit of time, you manage to pull up to the outside of the Hollow Haven. What is it called? Hold on.
All right. Let's hurry John inside.
Yep. Let's rush inside.
Yep, you guys head on in. Hollow's Haven, that's what it is. All right, and you guys clamber out with John, completing the mission to the assignment you were sent on, and now you guys walk into the doorway, and you hear the bell ring as you step on in to the familiar library. Drake and Clyde, we are back to you guys as you are on this third wagon, heading through the streets. You guys have some distance. You haven't seen them yet. What's the play? Are you guys heading for the Hollow's Harbor? Are you gonna try and or Hollow's Haven?
What do you think, Clyde? Do we need to lose this carriage and blend in?
I
Can we
think
make
that's
it-
a mighty fine idea. You either hop off, let the horses hit the horses, let them keep going, and we'll divert down a different path. That's all I got, actually.
All right. So you guys can either make a hide roll or a sway roll. I'll leave it up to you guys and who you want to roll.
Do you have any hide, Drake?
I do have 2 hide.
I say you make the roll. Because it's clicky knee ain't the stealth here.
Like I said, I'm a journalist, alright? I
Yeah,
do
you are.
sneaky.
Always dwelling in the dark shadows.
5.
5. All right. As you guys find a good spot, you glance behind you just to make sure they're not there again. As you both hop off of the cart, and then give a little pat to the horses as they continue on forward, and you kind of step into an alley and rest in some shadows for a second. And a moment passes, Another moment, and then the two men go galloping past on their horses, not seeming to notice you guys as they continue onward. And you get the pretty good idea that you're probably in the clear now, as you start to make your way toward Hollow Harbor to the library, the Hollow's Haven. As you weave in and out of the districts, in and out of alleyways. And after a little bit of time, we see you entering in with the bell jingling as you enter into this library to see Valenci, Jezebel, and John all in the back room as you go through, as well as Vince McCormick, your guys' light keeper. As he turns and looks to you, it is mighty fine to see that you guys have made it again, or made it safely. No problems?
Yeah,
We're
it was
followed?
a close one. No, I think we hit well, even though I did smell something foul. I'm pretty sure Drake may have shit himself.
The only smell is you, Clyde. That old smell.
I'm not that old. I just sound like it.
Sound like you're on your deathbed.
John laughs. Sometimes the events that we go through wear down on us more than our age. It's just kind of how it goes, you know. Vince walks over to John and shakes his hand and just, we're glad that you were able to get you out of there. Is everything okay? Are you fine? Yes, they treated me okay, all things considered. Just a little bit worse for food and water, if you have any of that. Of course. Right this way. And he leads them away and a moment passes before he enters back in. Vince comes back in. Well, I know it's been a long night for you all, but we did recently get some news. That canister that you brought back to us after the warehouse. We've had some time to look over it to search for this Cooper Thorpe, Thorpe, that you have given us that name of. And after reaching out to a couple other members of Candela and the Circle of the Lightkeepers, it does turn out that Cooper used to be a member of Candela a long time ago, but his circle went missing, and him along with him. We presumed him dead. And some other Lightkeepers managed to recognize the name and point us in the direction of where he used to live. I visited it myself, and it is a very worn down, looks abandoned shack on the outskirts of town. I did not enter, for my adventuring days are far beyond me, but I do think that it is wise that we figure out what he is doing with these canisters, as well as to figure out what has happened to him. It has been a long night, but if you guys are up to it, I think that the sooner the better. We should be on our way to investigate him. What do you guys think?
Let's go talk to him.
I agree.
Let's go see what's going on.
Are you all
The
okay?
night's just begun.
Yeah, it is. It's like probably like 9-10 p.m. It's not like extraordinarily late, but it's getting there.
Or like the night.
Couldn't agree more.
So he's like, all right, very well. And he reaches over and grabs a piece of paper and hands it to you. this is the directions to the shack. You guys can take one of the carriages that you just came up, or if you have a couple minutes, I can contact a car. Up to you. Carriage, you'll be able to set off right away. Car might be quicker in the long term, but it's also noisier. So, whatever you think is best, and just tread carefully. If Cooper is in there, we don't know what he has been up to. He has not contacted Candela since the circle's disappearance. I would only expect danger to await you in that shack if he's still there. So what do you think? Carriage? Car?
Well, perhaps we could take a car and then park it a ways away, and make the last leg of the journey on foot to try and surprise him.
Yeah,
at
let's do
the
that.
shack.
That will certainly work, And he walks over to a telegram machine and starts to send out a message to receive a car. And as you guys take a moment to breathe and kind of relax after an exciting little chase and the accomplishment of a mission or an assignment, you guys, we pass up by the time as we then see you guys entering into this car with the cab driver, and he sets off towards the directions that you guys have been given towards his shack. If there's any conversation you want to have, you can have it. Otherwise, we will be arriving to the shack. And I'm gonna drink water.
After those events, I just need to calm down a bit.
Yeah, I know.
Mhm.
I'm glad you guys made it okay.
True. We definitely learned who can drive a carriage, who can't.
Clyde was holding me back, but thankfully I was quick on my feet.
When are you gonna get that photo developed? I want to freaking put it in my library.
We could have said while you guys were waiting for the car that you did do that if you wanted to.
Yes, excellent choice.
So
I
Clyde,
don't
you,
have access to my supplies in my bedroom.
Luckily, I have them all here. I shove him in the room real quick.
you guys come out with a picture. It's a little bit blurry with all the motion, but you definitely can see two horsemen, and definitely some silver weapon in his hand as it's outstretched towards you guys, and the night surrounding this building is. You got a little bit of an action picture.
Now you
Sounds
see here,
about right.
Jezebel. That's right when he was about to shoot me in my face.
Nice
If
job,
only.
Clyde. Very
Yeah.
nice.
I rolled a 6. I took a good picture.
But you guys take off in the car, and as you guys park it a little ways away and get out and start walking, you walk through. It is, like he was saying, it's on the very outskirts of the town, and it's a very run-down area. Not a place that you would really like to traverse during the night, but when the duty calls, you continue forward. You don't really see many people at all. The buildings look very run down. Lots of them seem abandoned. As you continue forward and you get to the shack that you guys are looking for, and you see it's very much like Vince was saying. It looks pretty much abandoned. There's parts of it are toppled in on itself, as the door is like on off its hinges a little bit, just sitting partially open. You don't, as you guys stand there and look at this, it looks very eerie. Definitely a place that a normal person would consider haunted, and maybe a place where teenagers would like to go and walk around in at night to see what's going on. But as you guys stand there and look at it, you don't see any movement. You don't see any light.
Okay. Can I make a survey roll to try and find any signs of life?
Yeah, for sure. Make a survey roll.
4.
4. It's a little bit hard to tell. You do feel like you see some footprints here and there, and with your tracking abilities and the experience you have, you get the idea that definitely people have been coming and going. And as you're looking, you seem like you feel like you see a similar footsteps multiple times coming and going. It would make you feel like someone definitely frequents this place. Whether they live there or not is hard to tell, but someone definitely comes and goes from this building quite often. There are a multitude of other footprints that are around it, but you do make out this distinct, like similar boot.
Well, someone's definitely been here. Quite often, it seems.
Think it could be the local children looking for a scare?
No, the boots are much too big to be children.
You
And
definitely
heavy.
do see
Wonder
some
where
that
Cooper-
seem smaller, like a group of like kids or teenagers. Those are kind of the other ones that you see around it, but you definitely, the boots are
The ones inside.
suspect.
Can we just investigate more to see if there's any other signs?
Yeah, so if
Is
you
there
are looking
Another
for
entrance, maybe?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so you can
You
do
can-
another survey roll to investigate the house itself, or a focus roll if you're looking for something in particular. It's kind of up; those can both kind of be used.
I think actually we'll do a bleed detector and just grab my necklace and see if
Alright.
I detect bleed.
Mark down that you have your bleed detector and make a sense roll.
One's gilded. 5 non-gilded.
All right, you hold the pendant. You get a slight warmth. There's definitely been bleed here, but there isn't any currently around you. It does make you feel as though it gives you an uneasy feeling knowing that bleed has been in the area, and you're not sure if this is coming from Cooper or if it's coming from somewhere else in the area. You do get an idea when you're looking around that this area is very scary, like I was saying, and so you're unsure if part of that might be because of some type of thinning or monster or person or something that is affecting the area, or if it's all coming from maybe inside the shack or something. You can't really figure out where it's coming from, but it has been here.
Bleed has definitely been here. I am not getting the strongest sense, but it's definitely been here. We're still outside the shack at this point?
Yeah, you guys
Oh,
are
okay.
a little
We're
ways away
scoping
from
it
it,
out.
but you're
Okay.
looking at it.
I think we should go maybe knock and see if he's in there.
Excellent choice. Always good to see if the door works before we break it down.
Maybe we have two people go around back to make sure he doesn't escape.
Yeah, I can go around the back. Keep a lookout.
Is anyone going with Valencia, or is she going by herself?
Drake, you should go with Firenze. I think you always did good at the back.
mean?
I don't know what you're trying to insinuate, Clyde, but we all know. I want to be alone. Jezebel.
I mean, who wouldn't want to be alone with Jezebel? Such a
Me.
fantastic
All
woman.
right, bye.
So Valencia and Drake, you guys slowly creep your way around the back of the shack as Jezebel and Clyde, you guys make your way towards this front door. And as you approach it once again, you see that it's off its hinges. It's cracked open, as it looks like you could easily just slip past the door, and like the right side of the building is partially caved in, as the left side looks mostly intact. And you walk forward towards the door, and you guys gonna knock?
I'll do a little tap, knock, knock, knock.
All right. So
Ooh.
as Jezebel, you raise your
Cooper?
hand to knock. Drake and Valenci, whichever one of you wants to make a survey roll for me as you go around the backside of the shack.
I have 2 on survey.
I do as well with the gilded thing.
Oh, go for it then.
All right, Drake, make that roll.
Is that what the diamond means?
Yeah.
Right?
So just
Alright.
your right dice, I believe, is what we're doing.
But
Right
if it's
mouse.
lower, I shouldn't use that.
It's up to you. If if you get like a 4 and a 5, or if you get even a 4
Mm.
and a 6, if you'd rather just recover one of those drives, then you can.
Gotcha. I'll choose the 5. The other one was a 3.
Okay.
Non-gilded.
So as you creep around the backside of the house, you guys are looking at, or the backside of the shack, you guys are looking at the shack, and now that you're on the opposite side, it's mirrored, and the left side is pretty caved in. Looks like there's a couple parts you might be able to go through, more parts where maybe there's a room underneath it, and to the right is mostly intact. And as you guys are kind of watching, you swear you see the slightest flicker of light in a window on the right side, as if like a candle is flickering inside of there.
Do you see that, Valencia? That flickering light?
And Valencia, as you
yeah.
look forward, you do see, as he points it out to you, you watch for a moment as you, once again, a little flicker. You're not sure if it's maybe reflecting off of the glass that's just slightly still in there, or if you're seeing it just kind of emanating in the room.
Well, hopefully that's a sign that he's in there. Let's see if he answers the door.
As we go back to Jezebel, as you knock on the door, and you get no response.
So we knock, and I'm like, Cooper, is anyone home?
No response. But back on the backside, Drake, Valenci, you guys see just the slightest bit of movement. Maybe the back of a head pass by one of the windows as you see that light vanish. You don't see the flicker anymore, but you see maybe just the slightest back of some greasy black hair pass by the window.
Right there, I swear I saw someone.
Yes, and the
Okay.
candle was put out. Maybe we should get closer.
Hello, we're friendly. Is anyone in there?
As you
Alright.
yell that out, you hear a slight like jolt, like a creak, a really loud creak of a floorboard as someone makes a sudden movement in there. But no one responds. Silence. You guys on the front side, you hear Drake's voice calling out from behind. Calling out, "Hello, anyone in there?"
Cooper, you might want to come out.
We've got you surrounded.
just slowly open the door and say, "We're friendly. We're only here to help you."
We're here with the
Sticky
union.
substance.
We heard that you weren't treated well at your last company. We just want to chat.
As you guys kind of creak open the door, it really does just as it is kind of hard to move since it's not on its hinges anymore. But you guys managed to move it open just a little bit, and as you look in, you see like a foyer in front of you that has just broken furniture and ripped up papers, and you see a couple like beer bottles lying around, as well as some like ends of the butts of the cigarettes like on the ground, some char marks where some people have maybe started a little bit of a tiny fire, and there's a hallway directly in front of you, and I will have whichever one of you wants to make a survey roll.
I have one. Do you have anything more in survey?
Lecline?
I believe my survey, my focus is really where I'm best at. I have a 1 in survey.
Oh, me too. I can do survey and use the drive.
All right, so make that survey roll.
Three.
A 3.
Two and a
So,
three.
as you look down the hallway, you see that there's a couple of doors along it as you go down, but at the far end, on the left side, there's a door that is open, as well as on the right side, you see a bookcase, and straight ahead, all the way at the end, there's a portrait sitting there. It's a very eerie looking portrait. It's of a man standing there. He has very clean black hair that is well kept. He is in a suit. The hair is cut up to just like the top of the neck, and it curls out just a little bit. And he's well dressed and is standing there quite regal. But what you do see is that over his shoulder, there's been a figure carved into it, an addition that is not part of the actual picture, but a figure has been carved behind him. And as you look closer, kind of leaning forward into the darkness, you see that his eyes have been, the person's eyes there has been carved out. And then looking to the right of the entrance, you see a stairway that is completely broken and toppled in with the cave-in. You can only make it up about 4 steps before you hit the roof that is caved in right there.
I think I'd like to move in to the shack. At this point.
From the backside.
Yeah, from the back.
So as you guys make your way up, you see on the left side where you saw when you first walked up that there's a space where you can enter in through the back, and as you do, you see a pretty caved in room. It looks like maybe it used to be a bathroom. There's like a tub that is still actually pretty well in place, but there's a toilet that has been like cracked and split in half. And as you push open the door, Jezebel and Clyde, you see one of the doors on the right side slowly open, as then you see Valencia and Drake come walking in, and then you guys see the same thing that they saw with the disturbing picture. The door open, it's to your guys' right, Jezebel and Clyde, your guys' left at the end of the hallway. The bookcase, the painting, the 2 other doors that are along the left side, and then a broken up foyer with a broken up staircase.
Well, that's a tad unsettling. What do you think it means?
Seems a little out of place in a rundown shack like this.
I agree. Can I inspect the painting
Yeah.
and
So
carving?
If you wouldn't
Yeah, we're gonna
mind,
use a
Jezebel,
focus
I
group.
would love to do that.
Yeah,
It is
please
my
do.
specialty.
make a focus roll to inspect as you guys walk forward towards the painting.
That is a gilded 6.
Wow.
Gilded 6. All right. Recover
Mhm.
a drive as you lean forward towards the painting and you look and you see that you didn't notice before, but there's actually multiple figures, or some of them not even looking human-like, carved all around this man who is standing there. And then it kind of hits you. This is a much younger version, but you guys did see at some point a picture of Cooper with his employment. And you look at it and you're like, this is Cooper. Just a much younger Cooper. And you do see that the eyes have been gorged out with what looks like a knife. And you notice that on the lapel of his jacket there is the Candela Obscura pin. But apart from that increase, it seems like a painting.
Which of the doors would lead to where we saw a candle flicker?
So that would be the open door down the hall, the furthest door down the hall.
Okay.
And it is open. It is the only door that is open.
We did see a flicker of light. It was that way.
Oh, in the window you saw a flicker? Okay.
Yes, when we were outside, we saw through the window.
So somebody must be here. Cooper must still be here. We can go down the hall and look in the room.
So as you guys make your way down, Jezebel bravely leading the way. As you walk forward and peer into this room, and you see there's a workbench, and on top of it is a series of tools, and there is a candle sitting there. There's still a little bit of smoke rising up from the candle as it was recently put out. And as you look around, you see the dust there's a pretty heavy layer of dust all over the shack, but here is a little bit more disturbed. You see a series of tools on the workbench and a stool that is overturned, laying on its side, just in front of it. Out of all of the house so far that you've seen, this definitely feels like the area that is the least rundown. There is a slight, hay filled bed over on a far corner. There's a bucket that has a little bit of urine and feces in it. There's a canister or a pitcher of water sitting there, and then there's a plate with a half-eaten piece of bread on it, and it's starting to kind of mold a little bit. It definitely seems like someone has been here, probably living here for a little bit.
Okay. I would like to make a survey roll to see where this person might have gone to.
All right, go ahead and make a survey roll.
4.
A 4, okay. As you are following, you kind of look and you see that where the stool is flipped over, there's a large amount of dust that was disrupted there. And as you look and you kind of follow, you see that it continues out towards the hallway. Once you get into the hallway, you're kind of trying to see where it goes to. You see a step, maybe a second step outside the door. It's kind of hard to tell what direction it's going in. You kind of lean in forward before you hear a squeak and a rat goes running off in front of you. And it startles you. I'll have you take a brain mark.
Okay,
and-
so from last week, I already had 3, so now that's a
Oh.
scar, right?
Yeah. So you guys watch as Valenci startles back
A rat.
and then passes out for a moment before coming to. And so for taking a scar, you will erase all those marks. You'll mark down that you have a scar. You can write out that it is a brain scar. And then it will reflect any way that you want. It can be that your character has a slight stutter. It could be that their eyes are like they flit around a lot. Just whatever the amount of stress and disruption to your brain that has gone on in these last 2 missions, whatever that would reflect in you, if you want to describe that. And then the other thing you'll do is you'll take one of your dice that you roll for one of your actions. You'll take it out of one of them and put it in another.
Oh, no. Okay, let's see. So I think my brain scar will manifest by like sometimes it can be just like a small little eye twitch, but if I'm really stressed, then like my whole head will kind of do a twitch to the side.
Twitchy.
Hmm.
That's how you got your nickname. Twitchy.
I also have a twitch on my right eye.
You're Twitch friends now.
Uh-huh.
She's subbed to my Twitch. Twitch Prime.
Twitch Prime. Yeah, so you you guys notice just a little bit of twitch in her eye as she looks around at all of you. And what action are you going to adjust? So now this action, it can take something above a 3, so if you wanted to. I would suggest you try and keep it like somewhat close to like the narrative of, it being a brain injury or whatever, but have like a reason why you're losing something and why you're gaining something.
Okay.
And as you were thinking about that, you guys notice what she, as she was looking through, you guys are seeing now kind of what she was looking at, as you see the disruption of the dust and maybe a footstep or two leading out into the hallway. You can tell that this person went into the hallway, but you're not sure where they went after that. Before she could continue to figure that out, got startled by the rat.
Okay, I think I will lose 1 in survey since my eye is affected.
Yeah,
and then
for sure.
I'll gain 1 for move because I'm a little more flighty
I
now.
love it. Very nice, very nice. So yeah, you feel that jitter just surge through your body a little bit and gives you the urge to move and run. All right. Where is your guys' investigation going now?
Are you right, Valenci? That rat definitely did a number on you.
A silly rat.
So the footsteps led out to the hallway we just were at
Yep, the hallway that you guys are
behind
in.
us.
Yep.
How did he get around us? Okay. So there's 1 other door that's closed.
There in the hallway.
Opposite.
There's 2 more doors that are closed. There's the one that you guys came through that is now open. So beyond the open one, there's 2 more that are closed, that are along the same wall that you guys are on.
I say we check both of those.
Yep. So you
Let's
guys
try the
walk
first.
walk towards that first door, and as you slowly push it open, you see what probably used to be like a bedroom. It is there's a broken down bed in the middle of it that's been like snapped in half, as part of the ceiling has crumpled down on top of it and crushed it. You see a night table that's slightly broken in half. There's a picture upside down on top of it, as well as a couple drawers that are like pulled open, and one of them pulled all the way out of the dresser. And as you look to the other side, you see a coat hanger that is missing most of its rungs. There's one coat that is still hung up on there, but it is thickly covered in dust. It probably looks like it hasn't been moved in a very long time. And on the ceiling, there's just a small chandelier that is like barely hanging on there. It has candles that are burnt down quite far, but once again, all this seems very covered in dust, probably not recently messed with.
Right.
Can I go-
Moving to the next door.
Can I check that coat really quick and see if that's the one that Cooper had?
Oh,
Hmm.
Pin?
Yeah,
Excellent
so
idea.
as you walk up to the coat, you look over it, and as you kind of go to reach forward, you grab it and turn it to where the lapel is, and you do see a Candela pin, also covered in dust on it. And as you're looking at it, you feel your vision shift as suddenly you're standing in this large room. There are 4 huge containers filled with this really bright green liquid. You see this strange monster, half person standing in front of you. There's a giant arm coming off of one side as a human arm comes off of the other, and the face is all contorted as if it is being ripped apart and pulled together from the other side. And you see it reach its hand forward and crush down into a woman that was laying on the ground in front of you. You see your hand reach out, but it's not your hand. It's the hand of a man. And he reaches out. You hear your voice, but it's not your voice. And it calls out, "No!" Before the hand raises up and you see the lifeless body laying there. The thing turns towards you, starts clambering forward. You turn, sprinting away, before you feel something collide in your back and you get thrown forward as you then blink your eyes and gasp as you are back to the room you're in. I'm going to have you take 2 marks of bleed as you just witnessed what seems like some type of memory from perhaps...
Oh, that just gave me another scar. That's my 3rd scar. Does that mean
Oh
I'm
no.
dead?
You're
Dead?
not dead. You're not dead.
Okay.
If you take a
You're
4th
fourth.
scar, then you are dead.
Oh dear. Okay.
So as you guys watch Jezebel go forward and start to grab the jacket, you see her freeze, stiffen, as she's looking at the jacket, looking at the Candela pin. And she is completely rigid, just staring. Before you see her suddenly relax and the grip release as a gasp comes out before she crumples to the ground.
Jezebel!
Clyde! No. I'm dead.
I'm dead.
As you rush forward, and you get to her and you grab her and turn her over, you see her eyes flicker back open. How does this bleed scar represent in you?
I would say I am really nervous and it gives me like tremors, just shaking all the time.
As you felt that impact in your back and you witnessed the death of a person, it resonates with you, and you can at times almost feel like you see it in front of you again, and it's just causing you to shake as that memory is now ingrained in you. And what changes are you making to your actions? Or what change?
I will take one from control. Because I'm shaky now, so.
That makes sense.
And then maybe I'll put it in move.
All right. You and Valenci both are ready to run at a moment's notice now.
True. Whoa.
And as you feel the pain of these other two scars really coursing through your body, feeling like this toll that you've gone through while working for Candela is reaching a point you're not sure you can continue with. And so your willingness to run, to leave, to move has increased. But very nice. I love it. Not the fact that you took a scar. I love that you're
Yeah, chill.
thematic. Promise, I'm not trying to kill you guys.
That's good.
All right.
Can I use let them in since I took bleed? It'll give me additional information about the phenomenon that harmed me.
Yep.
I don't know if I
for sure.
can for this, but
Yep. It's definitely a good use of it. As you come back to and are feeling that pain, feeling the tremors coursing through your body, you close your eyes and then open them again, and once again you see the vision that has come with your pure black eyes shift, and you can almost see the bleed just emanating from that jacket. You get the idea that this jacket, even though it's covered in dust, has been worn by somebody who has been around a lot of bleed often. So it may not have been worn recently, but it has been worn a lot by somebody who has been around bleed a lot. And it is just like infused into the jacket now.
ooh, okay. There's lots of this jacket has been through some shit.
Yes.
It's been around a lot of bleed. Nobody else touched this jacket.
Well, Cooper was Candela, so most likely he's encountered it most of his life. Unless we're thinking it's someone else's.
But I mean, it has the same pin that he was wearing, so I think it's his.
It does look very reminiscent of the painting, the jacket and the painting.
It is rather concerning, though, if it is Cooper's, and he has been living here. Why would he just leave this jacket to gather dust?
Yeah.
Instead of either disposing of it or,
I wonder if he's actually been living here. Doesn't look like this place is very livable anymore.
But Drake and Valencia, didn't you say you saw movement?
Yes, there was movement, and that candle, I mean, that we saw in the last room.
And it was
Yep,
smoking.
I thought I saw
Mhm.
something.
And we did see the footprints. Somebody does come here frequently. He very well could still be in this house then.
I think we best check that last room.
Very well.
As you guys step out into the hallway, you approach this last door. Who is
I'll lead the
taking
way
lead?
so Jezebel no longer takes scars.
Clyde, you reach your hand out and you take the doorknob, and it is cold to the touch. So you turn and open it, and as you look in, you see a broken down like kitchen dining room. There's like an ice chest along the wall that has been broken and snapped. There's a counter space that is partially caved in. There's like all the drawers are just torn open. There's just a couple like plates and cups still kind of in there, but they're askew and moved around, maybe been touched a couple times. The dust here has definitely been moved sometimes, but there's still quite a bit of it. As the table is still intact, and there's only one of the chairs that is intact, while all the rest are in rubble all around. Once again, just like in the other room, part of the ceiling along the right side has partially caved in, and you see coming from above, there's just like a slight, like part of it looks like a trumpet, like dangling from a cord on the side. It looks as though upstairs there may have been some type of like music room or something that has been long since caved in. Yeah, that's what you see in this room.
Overall, it seems only one chair.
What happened here to cause the cave-in?
Oh my goodness. Right. Well, where else could this person have gone to? Starting to worry about this strange, shadowy person.
There must be a secret entrance somewhere. Could I use my focus to look around the room for anywhere that might show a sign of maybe a secret door or
Make a
compartment?
focus roll. If there's anyone else who wants to look around at anything else or use different methods.
There's a 6.
A 6. All right, as you are looking around, you start in the kitchen area and start to very meticulously look around, and you get an idea pretty quickly that this seems like a pretty ordinary place. You do see where stuff has been disrupted, as though someone has been using this occasionally. You do remember the plate in the other room, as this is probably somewhere that he came and went from. And then you exit out of the door and start to look around the walls, and you see the thick layer of dust. And as you make your way in, you look into the bedroom, and once again, very meticulously making sure to not touch the jacket. And you look around, and once again get the feeling that there's nothing there. There's nothing disrupted here. This is probably one of the least disrupted rooms. And then you make your way out into the hallway, and that's where you see the footsteps that you guys were following. But as you look closer, you notice that the footsteps lead directly out of the room. They don't move. They don't change direction. It's direct. And as you turn and you look at where they are heading to, you see the bookcase in front of you. And as you are looking at it, you see that there's not much dust on this bookcase. There's a little bit here and there that seems like it may have fallen on it. But generally, it looks as though this bookcase definitely moves.
Group, get in here! I believe I've found where the footprints go. Behind this very bookcase. Quick, look around. How can we open this?
And as you start to look around, with that 6 focus, I'll let this kind of carry over. You do notice that one of the bookends seems like it has less dust on it than all the rest. And as you look closer, you see that there's a part where it looks like dust has been pushed away, as it looks like you could push that back. And as you do, you push it, and you see the bookcase just slide along the wall, just like 3 feet, just enough to make your way down through here. And as you peer down, you can see this tunnel that has been carved away into the wall and starting down into the ground, that goes deep underneath the house. It gives you an eerie remembrance of the one in the town that you went through. As you look down this, you feel like you see, just at the very end where it turns, the slightest glint of something before it vanishes around the corner.
All right, I say we head down. Anything else we need to do in the house before we descend once again into the bowels of probably some bleed occult basement?
I am very shaky and nervous to go down there, but I will.
Yeah, would it make an easy decision, Clyde, telling us that we might die down there?
I mean, people are falling over, touching coats, and looking at rats. It wouldn't take much.
Well, you know what? That was just a rat. I would much rather face a real danger. I'll go first this time.
If I would have known that that was a scar for you, Lindsay, I would have made it a little bit scarier of a rat.
I know.
Just-
It's a wound to my pride as well.
It had glowing eyes. You thought you saw its mouth grow and start to almost come at you like it's going to consume you. That's what you saw. Everyone else just saw a rat. There you go.
Nice.
Very well, Valency. You can redeem yourself and go first.
So you start to make your way into this tunnel, and it dives deep down as you circle around and you go around the bend, and you find yourself looking at some strange ruins. And part of your history, especially like probably you, Clyde, being a professor, you remember that obviously New Fair was built on top of Old Fair. That was a very old and ancient civilization that got wiped out before New Fair was discovered and built on top of it. So there are parts of Old Fair where that you're able to go underneath and find, and this definitely seems like it would be one of them. There are some strange ruins of ancient times. There's pottery. There's all kinds of things down here, mostly crumbled away, but it exists. And as you guys are making your way through this, it's almost majestic to see this very old and ancient civilization. And this area in particular seems as though it may not have been very well gone through. It seems like an area that you would remember a lot of museums and stuff, like taking, for example, like the pottery and stuff and removing it from these areas, because a lot of this area is being torn up by the subway that's being created, by infrastructure that is being put in. But it seems like this area has been relatively untouched. As you guys continue onwards, you flatten out a little bit and start just walking along. In the distance, you can see very far off the glint of like a candle that is slowly drifting, but is quite far away from you guys. And then you see it once again disappear around an object. And as you guys continue to make your way forward, you hear rumbling from up above you as you get the idea maybe a train or a vehicle of some sort passes over, and you see dust start to fall from the ceiling above you as you guys continue on through these ruins. Is there anything that you guys are wanting to do?
I'm shakily in the back of the group, nervous.
Well, it looks like we better hurry if we want to catch whoever it is up there.
Clyde, do you want to make any potions on the way down here?
Excellent choice. Let's see, I could make flame, I could make acid. Sticky again, ma'am. That is one of my favorites. Let's see. Acidic. What do we think? What do we think? What do we think would be good? Maybe, do you think flammable might be risky? Maybe go acidic?
Right.
I could go explosive.
You're the expert here.
Explosive it is. I start
dear.
tinkering away.
So as you kind of open up your briefcase and you like prop it up against Drake's back as you guys are walking to kind of stabilize it a little bit, as you
Hold
let
still.
him lead you, because you're staying focused on your potion or your concoction making. As you guys continue forward, I guess that would put Valenci probably in the front. Oh yeah, you were in the front, and then Drake there with Clyde with your briefcase propped up against Drake's back, and Jezebel behind Clyde, shakily looking around. As you guys continue forward, looking around at these ruins, Valenci, you've seen lots of ruins. You just came from one not too long ago, so you're very comfortable and familiar with this type of scene, while the rest of you probably have not been in one of these before. As you look around and you're seeing just memories of an ancient time. And Drake, as you're walking forward with this briefcase pressed to your back, I want you to make a survey roll.
Yes. 5.
A 5.
Gilded.
As you're walking, you're looking around at all this, but you're staying mostly focused on the direction you're going before you see a slight movement out of the corner of your eye. You turn and look,
Huh?
and you see... No, it can't have been. But for a second, it looked like your father, glowing blue and green, before it passed behind a thing. But you saw it just for a glimpse, for a second.
Must have just been seeing something. It can't be.
Hold still, Drake.
See, in ruins like these, many mysteries for sure. Sadly, we don't have the time to stop and admire them now.
And Drake, as you come to this realization that you want to go and look, but you know that you are on an assignment, you're with a group, as you continue forward, a little pang of that pain comes back to you as the mixed success part of that roll. I will have you take a brain mark.
Oh God.
As you are feeling that pang of sadness, as you continue forward and you guys push through, Valenci, as you're leading the way, you also see, you swear you see a glimpse of two people, but they're slightly glowing and look almost like children, dart around a corner like chasing each other before they seem to have vanished. And they were wearing old-timey clothing, and you get the idea you're seeing remnants and memories of the past, of people who maybe once lived here. You also are realizing this area is not, it is not new to Bleed. Bleed has been coursing through these ruins in some shape or form. As you guys continue forward towards where you saw the light disappear from. And as you guys turn and you start to feel like you're hearing something coming from above you, up through the ground, the rocks. As you swear a memory stirs in your guys' heads. There's a festival going on. And as you kind of think back of the direction that you guys came from and where you guys have been walking and the turns you've taken, you realize you guys have to be approaching the square that that you guys have oftentimes passed by, maybe attended here and there, where this festival of the midsummer, is coming to a close. Tonight is the ending celebration. You feel like you are approaching and getting closer to it. And as you guys continue forward, you come to a spot where another tunnel has been carved into the rock as you are leaving the ruins behind you. And it's starting to curve upwards. And as you guys step into this tunnel, you see a figure, the outline of a figure hunched over something on the ground. You see a large backpack with canisters dangling from it. And long, stringy black hair as he's fiddling with something but doesn't seem to realize that you guys are there.
It's more canisters. Just like we found earlier.
They do.
Can I make a
the
move
same.
roll to try and run ahead and grab onto him or tackle him in some way to?
Yeah. So are you? Yeah. Go ahead and make a move roll to try and get the jump on him.
A gilded 5.
Gilded 5. All right. Regain one of the drives in, what is that? Nerve. Yeah. As you dash forward, and the movement, you see his face turn towards you as you grab a hold of him. And in the same moment that you do, you see a face that is gaunt. It is worn down. It is starved. It is just not even, it is barely remembrance of a human. As he looks at you, his eyes piercing into yours, before you see his eyes start to glow blue again. You do not know what you are doing to me. You must go.
We just want to talk to you, and then can I do a cold read on him?
Yeah. What is run me with that?
Unsuccessful sense roll. You know what ailment, stress, or loss the person has in their life, even if they're hiding it.
All right. Go ahead and make a sense roll.
Sense.
There is not much talk to be had. I talk too much. I hear too much.
I got a gilded 2, is all.
All right, regain that drive. I will say the one thing that is not easy or not hard to tell. He is very infected by bleed. But he looks at you all. I can see in your faces that you all know what it is to be influenced, to be affected by bleed, by the supernatural. So go, I must, before it completely envelops me. Go.
You must what? Cannot leave until we know what your plan is.
It is not my plan. As his eyes are just intensifying as you see the glow, and he's looking past you guys. You all kind of like glance around to see who he's looking at. But what he is seeing, you guys are not seeing. But his eyes are definitely fixed on something. It's not my plan, but theirs. I hear, I see, I see, I hear. I speak, I listen. The whole time, I must obey, or bleed will take me. And take everything I have, everything I love.
How long have you been down here in these tunnels?
He glances around, the eyes kind of diminishing a little bit, but still holding part of that glow. I do not know. It is hard for me to maintain a sense of time. Bleed racks my senses, my brain, my body. I lose control. Just go before you all die.
Maybe we can free you from this bleed infection. Tell us the creature or creatures you speak with, and we will try to bar them from your mind.
There is many forms. I don't know if they're all the same. They all have desires and they all have information and things for me to do. They visit me in my sleep, in my waking hours, my house, my adventures down here. They haunt me with the ghosts of my circle, my family, my friends. I can't escape. I can't escape until I complete what they want.
What makes you think that you'll be able to escape? They'll just use you until you are no more.
I have tried
Let us help
many
you.
times to escape. As he pulls back the side of his hair, and you see 3 bullet holes, or what once were bullet holes, that are covered over in scars. I can't escape unless they let me. Candela cannot help. You cannot help. They are too powerful. I have been too far contaminated. I must complete. As you see his arm turn farther than the shoulder should be able to rotate, the elbow dislodging as his hand turns behind him and begins to turn the nozzle on the canister once, twice, 3
Oh, no.
times, 4 times, 5 times.
I try to go hit it with my cane out of his hand.
As you just lunge forward with your cane, make a strike roll.
Ho ho, that is a 6.
Alright, what are you lunging for?
To hit the canister out of his hand.
You go to smack the canister away from his hand, and it does. It hits it away. But it's already too late as you see the beginning of a blue and green essence that you know of bleed. You've seen a canister absorbing this before as it starts to emanate from it and release as a cloud starts to appear behind him. As he reaches forward and shoves you away from him, Valenci, and he stumbles back beyond the canister, and you see the form of something large and fearsome take shape as he steps back, and you see his glowing eyes piercing you all. I tried to warn you, but they say this is the end, and I want nothing more than the end. As he turns and continues down the tunnel, and this form, this bleed energy starts to take shape as we peel back away and rise up through the ground to see a large festival of many people gathered celebrating with drinks, with lights, with music. And you realize the amount of canisters that he is carrying. Should he release all this bleed, this could be catastrophic. As we will close this episode to be continued with episode 5 next week, Friday. As we come to a big conclusion, a big finale, you will be facing a lot. So you guys did technically finish an assignment. So we will you'll have your chance to do a refresh, to do, use everything you have left because it is the end.
Nice.
I'm saving it.
You're saving it. You're saving it for next time. Drake will live on in the next circle. But yeah, we will pick it up here next week, next Friday, same time, same place. For all you in chat, I have started posting on my socials. I will be posting Candela stuff as well as the other things that I do here. Make sure to go ahead and give them a follow. I appreciate you all being here. As we end every episode, we'll go around and just introduce yourselves, introduce the character you're playing, and let's do it. We'll start with you, Clyde.
Excellent, yes. My name is Sexy. I play Clyde, professional Bigglesworth. But yes, this has been most fantastic. Friends with Diwalaxer, definitely Twitch Prime. And also fiance to Jezebel, brother to Crazy Knock and Drake, as well as good friend with Valenci. So yes, this is quite an exciting time, and we love being a part of Candela. Thank you for joining us.
Very nice, very nice. And Jezebel?
I am Death Kiss, and I play Jezebel, of course. And as Sexy said, he's my fiance, and everyone, we're all friends, and we're happy to have you.
Very nice. And Valenci?
Alright, I am Paparu. I play Valencia, and friends of all the above.
Very nice. Crazy
Yes.
Knock? Drake?
Yep, in game, known as Crazy Knock. I've been known to have a big forehead, they say. Yep,
Still
brothers
no.
with Clyde. Oh no, not brothers with Clyde. I could never. But brothers with Sexy. And yeah, good long friend of D-Wall. So fun to do this new adventure.
Yes, sir. And I am your game master, D-Wall Laxer. Thank you so much all for being here. I'll see you all next Friday, big finale. Peace.
Let's go! Finale! Yes, we're all going to die.
Oh my god.